the way you style your hair, how you section your hair, and how you rest your head at the end of a long day could be damaging your crown area. Personally, my crown area has always required a little bit more love and TLC. But thankfully, after all of these years of learning how to care for my natural curls, I've learned a lot about how to care for this area and how to prevent damage from happening in the first place. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is why this happens, and I believe it comes down to two main things. The first occurring during your routine, and the second when you're relaxing at the end of a long day. Going into the first reason, for many of us, when we are styling our hair, detangling our hair, applying products to our hair, we often split our hair into multiple sections, whether that's 2 sections, 4 sections, or more. And when we make these sections, we split our hair going directly through our crown area. In itself, there's nothing really wrong with that. But what ends up happening, especially if you're using a brush to detangle, is that you are putting that brush directly onto your crown and pulling straight down and forward towards your face. And this ends up putting a lot of stress on all of the hairs right around your crown. Not only because they are being stretched and tugged at the most, but also because they are receiving the most friction from being in direct contact with the brush. And it doesn't stop there, because when you're applying your products, like your conditioners and your hair treatments, it's very easy to completely miss that spot, and all of your hair will be coated except for this little diamond shape right at your crown area. So not only is this area under a lot more stress, it's also not receiving the protection and nourishment from your conditioners. So what do? I have 3 solutions for you. First, part your crown into its own section. This is going to make sure that you're not neglecting this area. Second, use your hands as much as possible while styling and detangling this area. And this will not only help you be more gentle with your crown, which, if you're watching this video, may be a bit damaged and in need of a gentle touch. It is also one of the best ways to get to know your hair. And in the long run, it can help you identify patterns in your routine, the products or herbs that you use, and your hair state. And this is invaluable to a healthy hair journey. Now, if you're trying to use your fingers and hands to detangle your hair and distribute product, but you feel like your hair is just so difficult to manage and it tangles easily and it's rough to the touch, I have a little bonus tip for you. And that is, do not be scared to use silicones. Silicones have a bad rap, especially when it comes to natural hair care and curly hair. But they are really good conditioners. They protect the hair, they add slip, they reduce frizz, they prevent the hair from further damage, they're natural sun protectants, natural heat protectants, the list goes on and on. And if your crown is really struggling, using silicones can give you the boost you need to get your hair into a healthy state. And finally, when you're almost done detangling and you're doing those last few long strokes to get those last few tangles out, do not put your brush or comb directly onto your crown and pull down. Instead, start your comb or brush slightly higher up and pull over your crown area. Or if you like to flip your head upside down during your routine, then start your comb or brush a little bit further down your head and brush over your crown area. And this is going to do 2 things. First, it's going to reduce the amount of friction and tension put on that area. And 2, because those hairs are sort of tucked underneath hopefully healthier and stronger strands, they will be a little bit more protected from the elements and everyday stressors. Now, these 3 steps are going to help your crown get the nourishment and gentle care it needs, and when you do it consistently, you should start to see an improvement. However, if you like to style your hair into 2 braids or 2 twists throughout the week, you may still be damaging your crown area. Now, why is that? Well, with 2 braids, your crown is fully exposed. And when you're tired from work, or you're driving, or you're resting at the end of a long day, we often like to rest our head on the back of a chair. And your crown comes into direct contact with the furniture. And that chair is just ruffling up your hair, especially when you tilt your head from one side to the next. And this, again, damages your cuticle, a lot. And this can of course happen with any hairstyle that leaves your crown exposed, including when your hair is just left out. So what can we do about this? Here are 3 options for you. First, change up your hairstyle. You can do a messy bun, you can pin up your hair a little bit higher, you can do a single braid instead of 2. The options are endless. The most important thing is making sure that your hair at the crown is covered and protected. Number 2, just be mindful about how you rest your head, either by consciously keeping your head up and off the chair, or by using your hand as a barrier between your head and the chair. And number 3, carry some sort of satin covering with you. In the winter, I love wearing a satin-lined beanie, and as long as I'm wearing it, there's really nothing for me to worry about. And in the summer, you can just carry a scarf with you and just loosely tie it around your hair when you need it. By protecting your hair this way and by following the 3-step solution I mentioned earlier, you should definitely start to see an improvement in no time. Now, since we're talking about protecting our curls, make sure to check out this video right here to see how I like to tie my headscarf for bed.